Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday morning, November 11, 2020. And today is also Veterans Day. All of us here at the Riley King Network would like to say thank you to all the veterans that served in all branches of the military, and also say thank you to all the troops that are currently serving in all branches of the military. Thank you for your service. Let's begin this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast. Right now, we're going to start with your COVID-19 updates. First up, 222 new positive test results for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. Substantial level of transmission across the state. Health officials urge vigilance. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Chapel Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to...
So new numbers just in on COVID-19 in New Hampshire show 222 new positive cases with widespread transmission now in every county. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tom Griffith.
And I'm Jennifer Vaughn. That pushes the total case number to nearly 13,000.
Today's report from DHHS also includes 2 new hospitalizations. The total number of people now being treated in the hospital now stands at 64. And DHHS tells WMUR that hospital beds are still widely available statewide and that hospitals all can increase bed capacity if necessary. Officials say if the need for flex sites arise, they can be operational in 2 to 3 days.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at coronavirus in New Hampshire, key information and data. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 12,919 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 10,230,770 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 489 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 796 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 521 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. In Manchester, 157. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 2565. And now let's take a look at these 3 charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In orange, new hospitalization. And red, deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalization, red deaths, and blue recovered. And let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate and daily PCR test. Let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Rural New Hampshire communities now experiencing some of the most widespread COVID-19 transmission. Health officials urge vigilance. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino.
Hey, Paul here, owner of Century Roofing. I personally wish to thank the thousands of our customers for supporting our team.
All of these metrics, all of these facts point to the fact that we're losing control on preventing the spread of this virus.
Health officials say now is not the time to drop your guard.
We're concerned that many people have stopped taking this, the threat from this virus seriously.
Based on population, COVID-19 is spreading rapidly in rural communities. Clarksville is the hardest hit town in the state right now, with one active case for every 27 people. Brookfield in Carroll County has one case for every 58 people, and Stewartstown has one case for every 78 of its residents. Warner in Merrimack County has one case per 93 residents, and Colebrook has confirmed cases in 1 out of every 100 people.
This has really opened up our eyes that it's everywhere, and we're not immune to it.
Colebrook set up a surge site early into the crisis. It was just taken down in June, but Neely says they can have it back up and running in a moment's notice.
I think as a town and as a community, we're really ready to go if things get more serious than they are. We spent a lot of time preparing for this.
Dr. Chan is aware that complacency and fatigue are setting in, but urges vigilance.
If people don't take this virus seriously, community transmission spread is only going to increase. Risk to our families and our communities is only going to increase. And we're going to lose the flexibility and the freedom that our communities have enjoyed over the summer.
Now for some encouraging news. Dr. Chan says a limited first supply of a vaccine could be here in the state by the end of the year. It would be distributed first to high-risk populations, long-term care facilities, frontline health workers, and the like. Reporting live this evening, Amy Cavino, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire DHHS entire state is at substantial rate of COVID-19 community transmission. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
Hey, Paul here, owner of Century Roofing. I personally wish to thank the thousands of our customers for supporting our...
We're concerned that many people have stopped taking this, the threat from this virus seriously.
New Hampshire's COVID-19 map showing every county is at a substantial rate of COVID-19 community transmission. The Granite State is now at 6 days in a row of over 200 COVID-19 daily new cases. There have been more daily new cases in the 10 days this month than in the first 54 days of the pandemic in March and April. Active cases are at their highest level since May 20th, and 64 hospitalizations is the highest since June 15th.
All of these metrics, all of these facts point to the fact that we're losing control on preventing the spread of this virus.
Dr. Chan says the increase is related to people gathering in groups and not social distancing.
The risk is only going to increase as we head into the winter months, as people head indoors.
Dr. Chan stresses if this virus goes unchecked, the risks for the elderly and vulnerable populations will be similar to the first wave of the pandemic.
This is going to lead to more people being hospitalized, more people dying from COVID-19.
And for those who are not high risk, Dr. Chan says what we enjoyed during the summer months when the numbers were lower may go away.
If people don't take this virus seriously, community transmission spread is only going to increase. Risk to our families and our communities is only going to increase. And we're going to lose the flexibility and the freedom that our communities have enjoyed over the summer.
And with that, state health officials continue to discourage gathering in groups and traveling, especially during the holiday season. Dr. Chan says the state of New Hampshire could be getting the vaccine by the end of the year in a limited supply for those who are high risk. In Manchester, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Crews battle heat, drought conditions at a bonfire in Brookline. Firefighters from multiple communities responded. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our #1 sell.
The first crews called to the scene of this fire on Townsend Hill Road in Brookline saw flames pouring from this barn.
First arriving units had fire on the B side, the Bravo side, or the left side of the building, working its way up through the subsequent floors above in the barn, and that was also working its way toward the house.
Firefighters started digging trenches in the roof of the barn to keep it from spreading to the residents next door. The one person home at the time was able to safely escape, and the house was saved. It didn't take long for the fire to go to 3 alarms, bringing in crews from 2 states.
We have a lot of towns from down in Massachusetts. I think we have 4 or 5 towns from down in Mass, and we have equally as many, if not more, from the state of New Hampshire. So probably between, I'd say 10 and 15 departments were involved.
Firefighters say one of the biggest problems they faced was water. Their nearest water source has dried up because of the drought, and they had to truck in water from about 3/4 of a mile away. The heat was also a problem, more summer-like than mid-November. About 70 firefighters were called in, and one had some heat-related stress, but is expected to be fine.
So everything was a fluid motion. When new crews would come up to the driveway, we would send them to relieve a crew that had been working for, a decent amount of time, and this just rotating everybody in and out to keep everybody fresh.
The fire was under control by early afternoon. The cause is under investigation. In Brookline, Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire State Police, Marine Corps kick off Toys for Tot campaign. Donations can be made until December 15th. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractor.
We look forward to this time of year every year to make sure that we end every calendar year with a sense of community and a sense of giving.
State police and the United States Marine Corps are coming together for families looking for some support during the holidays, especially this year during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The economy has certainly taken its toll on some of the families throughout our state, and there's an even greater need, with the challenges that our families are facing at work and, more importantly, at home. And those with young children have even had to face more adversity.
To help combat that, people can drop off unwrapped toys and gift cards to any state police barracks as well as a number of state buildings.
And I would recommend and encourage anyone to go to our social media websites to see exactly what the dates, times, and locations are that someone can drop off gifts as they see fit.
Just last year, more than $14,000 in gift cards were donated and 6,000 gifts were collected for children of all ages.
It is our goal to surpass the numbers that we were able to get in 2019, which was a large feat. So that we look forward to that challenge.
Once the toys are collected this year, the Marines will distribute them to families who have been identified. Organizers hope there's a large outpouring of support despite the challenges brought on by COVID-19.
We would encourage anyone, if they have struggles with that, they could either order online and drop something off, or if they wanted to, they could always submit gift cards. Our troopers and our families in our communities will certainly go out and make that shopping on other people's behalf.
Members of the state police say people will have until December 15th to drop off gifts. Reporting in Concord, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Today is Veterans Day, but it will look different this year. Ceremonies changed, meaning survivors of COVID-19 during COVID-19 pandemic, things have changed. Some events are streaming on social media. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Chapel Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George did.
This ceremony at the State Veterans Cemetery is not open to the public on this Veterans Day. Instead, it will be broadcast live on Facebook. Jim Brown served 17 years in the Army and lives at the Veterans Home in Tilton. He'll miss making the trip, but he understands.
We recognize the last thing we want to do is to bring that virus into this home.
Indeed, traditional Veterans Day parades are canceled, ceremonies cut way back, but COVID can't stop the meaning and importance of this day.
It gives all of us a chance to stop, pause, and reflect. The price that's paid by those people that have served in uniform and the families that have supported them is very, very important.
It's no time for fooling around like I always do. However, paying homage to my brothers and sisters.
The New Hampshire Veterans Home will have a virtual ceremony with videotaped greetings.
Granted, it's in a very different way, but we're very thankful for technology so it still can happen, so our veterans still know that they're being thought about and that they're being included and being recognized on a very important day for them.
Families can watch that Veterans Home ceremony on YouTube. Meantime, there's a list of Veterans Day events and restrictions on WMUR.com and our mobile app. We're live in Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. School districts weigh the option for remote learning through holiday season. Some districts are going fully remote for season. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
According to the state, 380 students and staff in 180 K-12 schools have been diagnosed with COVID-19. These are some of the factors that are considered as districts plan for after the holidays.
We have to think about all of our families.
Concord Interim Superintendent Kathleen Murphy says the school board will weigh two options during tonight's meeting.
First, we could stay and do exactly what we're doing right now, which is a hybrid. The second option is to go to a complete remote during the holiday season, given the impact of travel and holiday celebrations.
Manchester is also looking at possibly moving remote. A final decision will be made during a special school board meeting Monday night.
My first preference is always to have our students in person. And we've had most of them in a hybrid model, and we will do everything we can to keep them in person.
Last night, Hooksett voted to go fully remote from November 30th to January 15th. Superintendent William Rearick says two factors drove that decision, including an increase in COVID cases.
We're concerned that if that continued along those same lines, we would have trouble staffing. The second factor was that we do have staff members and families leaving for the holidays.
And now Nashua voted to move to entirely remote from Thanksgiving until December 15th. In the meantime, DHHS says it discourages anyone who wants to travel for the holiday season. They also say you should not gather with other people who are not from your immediate household. Reporting live, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for joining us for this morning edition. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.